I've got my mobile sauna that fits 12 people in it.
Yeah, so they had some water coming in through this gutter right here, and it would drain into this cavity, and then when they would back up or stop moving, the water would slosh and come through the fabric in the front.
Now, as you guys can see, I am old and decrepit. All right, everybody, I am right outside of the Nomadik Customs shop, and we're about to do a service on this Renogy solar panel, but we're not going to be putting it on my van because I'm just not ready just yet for a solar panel. But at the end of this Renogy, segment, we are going to actually install it on my friend's Super Pacific. So what's really nice about these solar panels is I'm going to be able to show you guys really how it can go up on a van, either in a Econoline or maybe a Sprinter or a ProMaster that's over here in this Nomadik Customs area. With the new dimensions of the Renogy 200 panel, it can actually fit going across that way. So we're going to get the solar panel up there, up on the roof to kind of show you guys what the benefits are with that. Now, keep this in mind. I am in North America right now. I am in Portland, Oregon. I am filming this in December. The reason why I said I'm in North America is because the way that the Earth is tilted, or whatever, the axis of 23.5 degrees, and then the northern hemisphere. I'm filming in December, and it is like the worst month to film in because we have the lowest daylight hours of the year. And that sun is about to go behind that big cloud. So I'm running out of time. Also, if you know anything about Portland, Oregon, you know that December is an extremely rainy month. So really, I only had like one day to film this. So thank you, Renogy. All right, let's unbox this and kind of dive right into it. She is a beauty. Of course, I lose the sun behind that cloud. All right, so for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using this cable right here that has an, I believe it's an XC port on it, like XC60 port or something like that. The reason I'm using this is because it's pretty universal for most power stations. I can plug it right into the back of it and we can get solar input. And then I just got to take the MC4 cables on the other end, and then there's MC4 cables on the back. Plug those in pretty easily. So we should have solar coming in. There's a cloud that I'm not getting a lot of sun whatsoever. I can only do so much, everybody. I can't control clouds. Input is 15 watts again. I only get so much solar. I only got 15 watts coming in, but it is, let me also get the time of day because that's going to be pretty, that's also going to be pretty crucial. So right now it's 1 p.m. And again, we're filming this mid-December. Why do I had sun like, oh. All right, but really why I'm impressed with this panel is with the anti-shading technology that Renogy has now incorporated into their panels. So pretty much if 25% of this panel is covered by shade, then 65% of it is still in use for their efficiency rating, I believe. The beautiful thing about these now is they have a 5-year warranty on them. They have a 25-year, 80% solar guarantee. Now, as you guys can see, I am old and decrepit. And I lifted that panel up, no problems. I just put this panel across, I can show you. And as you can see, I've got plenty of room to fit. I mean, man, I could almost fit 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2 fan, and then the third in the back if I really wanted to do it that way. It's a great size for van to go across. The top of an Econoline is actually about the same width, I believe within like an inch of a Sprinter top. ProMasters are super wide at the top, no worries there. And then a Transit right here that should fit across on a Transit roof as well. Now I'm not gonna put it on those vans because I don't own those vans and I don't want to scratch them in any way, so that ain't happening, sorry. 200 watts, 400 watts, 600 watts, even 800 watts if you can fit it up on your roof, depending on what van you have. Or in my friend's case, a Super Pacific tent, which is, he's putting on his truck, but a lot of people now are putting the cloud caps on top of vans, and they need a solar, they still need solar on top of the vans. If you guys want your own Renogy Shadow Flux, it's perfect size for roofing, which we're about to show, and obviously in multiple different vehicles. You can put it onto SUVs, you can put it onto, well, we're about to put it onto a Super Pacific tent, onto an Econoline, Sprinter, ProMaster. I mean, you can have it just like this and then deploy it out on, like with, you know, a stand. Make sure you can click on that link below for everybody, and I'll remind you again at the end of this Renogy segment. I got Josh with me here, but he actually brought this awesome rolling sauna.
Yeah, it's a mobile sauna.
How are you, Josh?
I'm good. I've come to Nomadik before to fix my van, done some electrical work, and now I've got my mobile sauna that fits 12 people in it, and I need some electrical work done today, so the guys are helping me get it all right.
All right, a couple questions before we get started. What made you want to buy this?
So I got this mobile sauna really for one reason, and I'm looking to connect people to nature year-round regardless of the weather. So we take this mobile sauna to Portland's riverfront parks. People get hot, then they jump in the river to cool off, and this allows people to connect, to socialize, to be outside, to be in the water. Doesn't matter if it's raining, doesn't matter if it's cold. People are coming out all year long.
So I see this out on a riverfront somewhere. Does it cost me to get in anything to get inside?
Yeah, so this is called Goose, G-U-S-S. There's a full calendar on my website, thegoose.com. You can see the sessions we've got, the times, the locations. Sometimes we sauna, sometimes we do forest bathing or trail running or guided meditation. It's kind of experiential, so it's not a place you just have to be quiet. It's really a place to come connect and have some fun with your friends outside. Connection to natural bodies of water is what really sets mobile saunas apart from maybe something you'd go to at an indoor sauna or spa. It's an invigorating thing. And look at this. We got the guys right here.
Yeah, this is Edwin and the crew. Malachi's over there. And what are they doing to kind of, because you bought this. You didn't build it.
Yeah, I didn't build it. It came with some electrical components, but just the nature of driving around on different terrain, some of my wiring system came out, and I wanted to make sure it was reinstalled really properly instead of doing it DIY. And so I've got underbench lighting, so the fire lights it up. We've got a big window on the other side, which we'll show you. So it's never dark in there, but having the underbench lighting during the evening hours in the winter is really nice ambiance.
Oh, that's gotta be so nice. What's the link? Did you say the link offhand?
So the sauna itself is 16 feet. It holds 12 people. At full capacity. We've got towel hangers and cubbies on both sides. Inside, there's 2-seater benches facing each other with a big window looking out towards the water wherever we're at. Including the tow hitch, we're at about 21 feet to the nose.
So you have a window on this side, you said?
Yeah, come on around.
Yeah, and then we're gonna step inside. There's no power. Oh my goodness, look at the size of that window.
So it's a full window, and this whole trailer drops down to the ground, so it doesn't feel like you're on a trailer. It's like a mobile unit, but comes down to the ground and looks like it's a stationary unit, like a tiny home. But
is this glass?
Yeah, this is all glass, super sturdy.
Nothing from the truck gets thrown.
I keep a window cover when I'm driving around.
Oh, so smart.
Yeah. But this is a finished stove. Wood burning, imported, and this thing cranks. I mean, the sauna will get up to, I keep it around 185 day to day. Okay. But if you really wanted to cook in there, you can get it up to 220. But I like to keep it at conversational temperature. People are coming and going, talking. The only thing that's requiring solar is just these LED strips.
That's it.
So pretty minimal.
And because everything else is wood burning.
Yeah, it's powered by wood, a little bit of sun. That's all you need.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
I love it. That thing is great. All right, they just replaced everything on, or not replaced, but they fixed all the wiring and everything. It's all good. It's lovely. But the issue is the battery is practically dead.
Thanks for checking out the Goose Mobile Sauna. Catch us on Portland's riverfronts every Saturday and Sunday. Salwood Riverfront, Cathedral Park.
I'll put the links in the description below. So you have Instagram and you have a website.
Yeah, we got Instagram and a website. Hope to see you at the river.
Malachi, you want to go use the sauna and jump in the river sometime?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Thank you to these guys. They do great work every time I come through.
Okay, so I know this Renogy part of the video is kind of all over the place. As I said earlier, when I get sun in Portland, I got to try and take advantage of it. Working on the van right now, and I got sun. Now it's peeking through the clouds right now, and I got a panel right here. Let's plug this sucker in. Oh boy. All right, it's all plugged in. Time check. 2:15, and it's only a day later from when I was recording that other part. As you can see, we've got pretty good sun on the panel right now. It's not the best angle, but you guys will kind of see we got 109 watts coming in. Maybe you can't see that, between 105, 109 in that area. So it's saying now at this rate, it can charge up this power station at about 6 hours. So 200 watt panel, I'm getting 104 watts. It is obviously partly cloudy. I've got trees up over there, so it's not getting full potential sun. Let's see what happens if I can try and tilt the panel towards the sun a little bit more. So I tried to angle it now, and as you guys can see, just because of that angle, I'm now bumping it up to 120, 121 watts pulling in. These panels are the shadow flux panels, so we're actually intended to test out the shade capability. And as you guys can see, I've got some shade right here. So let's see if we can play around with that. Cut a lot off. And because of the time of day, the time of year, December, sun is gonna be setting around 4:30. So I only have a couple hours left of sun. So let me try something. Just as I suspected, I cut off just that left cell right there. Like I said, I think that's one quadrant out of the 4. And I immediately jumped up to 40 watts that I'm pulling in. Partial coverage of that, it kind of shuts that whole cell down, but that's exactly what you want. An array of these panels up on your van, like 2 or 3 or 4 of them, right? Like I was saying, if one goes down, you still have the other panels to work off. If 1.5 goes down, you still have 2.5 panels to go off, or however many you have up there, right? So having the shadow flux panels are probably the best way to go. If you guys want your own shadow flux panel, make sure you guys click on that link below, and you can survive while it's partly cloudy on these wonderful days in Portland like I get quite often in the wintertime. All right, back to the rest of the video. I'm not gonna say who built this because, again, this isn't like me trying to blast any, builders that are out there, but this was a professional build by a professional company. What were the things that you fixed on this one?
Well, the only thing that I've actually done on this was that they had a major leak coming in through their camper top here. So I just filled the gutters up there with self-leveler to a point that it would stop draining into this cavity in the front. If I open this, you can kind of see.
I think I can say that the top, who makes the top, the manufacturer of the top, is RRE Global, right?
I mean, I'm not sure.
I think it is them.
Worked with.
Yeah, I forget which model that is. Are you gonna be able to put that back down, brother?
Yeah. I'm putting it up right now.
Oh, it's a mechanical top.
Yeah, which is pretty nice.
I got something stuck in my throat, guys.
Yeah, so they had some water coming in through this gutter right here, and it would drain into this cavity, and then when they would back up or stop moving, the water would slosh and come through the fabric in the front and drain into their ceiling. Easy fix, and we didn't actually have to tear the ceiling out or fix any of the wood. Or
you don't have to take anything out.
Yeah,
you just have to seal around the edge.
Yeah, but right here where my fingers are, where the side plating of the van meets the top,
And then what did you guys do? Water test it afterwards?
Yeah, you just spray it down, hose it with water. We usually try and use a pressure washer just to give it that extra oomph.
Or leave it outside in the Portland area because it rains every day?
Yeah, exactly.
Not every day, but it's like we're in the rainy season right now.
Oh yeah. We just filled it with self-leveler to help it drain the water properly. And then in the front, we'll add some weeping slots so that no water can collect.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering why. Actually, his screwdriver's up there right now.
Yeah, it's been up there for like a week.
Because that's what he's allowing the water to drain out.
Yeah.
So really, the builder of this van, it wasn't their mistake. I think it's RRE Global. I will clarify that with Edwin. It might not be them. Oh, SCA. That's who makes it. SCA. Yeah. You can see the tag on the side?
Yeah, looks like a SCA.
SCA. Maybe RRE Global sells it. Maybe that's why I'm thinking. But again, it's a nice pop. I like the pop top.
She hasn't even used it yet. It still has the plastic on the mattress up there and the shipping tag.
What's interesting is Nomadik also installed Super Pacific, and I actually had a Super Pacific on my truck. I actually like Super Pacific's top, because it won't do any of this leakage.
I actually have only seen one of those on one of our vans when I first started here. We haven't installed one since I started working.
Yeah.
But I do know what you're talking about, and they do seem like they're...
Well, they are a P&W company.
They are?
Yeah, so like they have worked the whole water and drainage issues. The biggest thing between the SEA and the Super Pacific is this is more like uniformed as part of the van. It like looks like it's part of it.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one looks like it's a rooftop tent, but it's actually a pop top because there's a pass through.
Yeah. But
Well, that's a nice build.
Yeah, it's a nice build.
If you guys need service done in your van, you can call Malachi at 555. No, you guys can go to Nomadik Customs website. You can go to service@nomadiccustoms.com. They will be able to help you out with any of your service needs, fixing any leaks that you might have, fan replacements. They actually install windows. While I was here, actually, there was a wonderful woman that came in, and she actually wanted some more windows put into her already existing van. They also do winterization stuff. They do, I think you guys are doing now oil changes for Mercedes.
Yep. Edwin does them mostly, but I can do them.
Yeah. There's a plethora of different things that you can get here at Nomadik Customs. So they're just friends of mine, and I think it's super important to just get your vans checked up, including me. All right, we're going to end this video actually in the fabrication area of Nomadik Customs, and we're also going to end the video on the Renogy panel mounting segment. I got Kevin here, the fabricator of Nomadik Customs. Now, if you were putting this on a van, yes, you could use the brackets that Renogy sells. Boom, they're right there. They're like a Z bracket, and you can just either put it onto a rail, or you can through bolt it right onto your van, and then it can actually just do one of those, and it can bolt on there. Boom, boom. However, we're putting this onto a Super Pacific tent right now, so unless you want to through bolt this into that tent, or not the tent, but like the roof, I guess, then you have to use something else. So enter Kevin's magic mind of creating a bracket, which you did right here, which fits onto the rails of the Super Pacific.
Yep.
We're waiting on Philip to get here with his truck. Once he gets here, we're going to show this thing up there, but Kevin right now is going to attach the Renogy panel to the brackets he made. Can I move these?
Yeah, we can pull one out.
Yeah, pull one out. There we go. There it is. Also pretty important to use stainless. You don't want to use zinc.
No.
Stainless, guys. Stainless. No rust. We don't want rust because these are outside. It's the whole point of it. Solar. Yep. Philip is just finishing up the attachments on the panel. Looks like he's good to go. I don't have another ladder over here, do I? No, you're good. Ugh. So he's just bolting them down right here. I mean, this thing looks perfect, huh, buddy?
Yeah, it's freaking perfect. Super low profile.
I love it.
I like that if I ever whack a tree, it's not gonna like smack the panel.
And there's just enough room for these wires to come through. That's perfect. MC4 cables, just connect those. Connect it to, what do you got, a power station in there?
Power station.
Connect to the power station, 200 watts, that's all you need. Bing, bang, boom. Good to go. Now I gotta install it on my van at some point. But anyways, this will conclude the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Later!